Thought it was one of our better first scrimmages in the fall. There was good both ways. Offensively, I think it's 5 touchdowns, some long touchdowns, 1 called back because of a penalty that was going to be about a 80-yard run by JC. From a defensive standpoint, too many long plays, but you got some freshman kids in there, and it's good. It's a great video to learn from. We'd make a better throw on our a couple takeoff routes, and we got a play there. We had a chance to make a couple catches that I think we can learn from that. We gained running the football. I think it's 217 yards, which we got to keep going, but that's an improvement. I thought McKenzie, I think he led us in rushing, but was very impressive in his first scrimmage. Runs hard, runs through people. He's a tough guy. McMillan, you can tell he just you can tell he needs more work at tailback, but you see his speed out there too, and I think he'll keep working to get better. Field goal wise, Sly was very good today. Santa Maria's been very good, and Carson Wise. Those 3 freshman kicker are really good. I think right now Santa Maria and Sly are leading that deal, and I thought they were pretty impressive. Blocked a field goal. I think we were a little slow in kicking it, but defense got blocked. Good to see those things happen. And I really told them I really like this football team. From where I was looking at it, I thought the effort was great. We can learn from it, and as long as you're getting great effort and guys working at it, I think you can get better. And I leave here today thinking, okay, we got some things going from us. Newsom makes a nice play out there. The little freshman receivers, I'd like to have gotten it to them a little bit more, but I think we can put some doodad plays in there to get them the ball a little more the next time around. And but I really like where we are right now.
What did you do with the quarterbacks in terms of who went with the ones?
They got the same number of reps with the 1, and I thought both of them had their moments. We'll watch this video, grade it, spend a lot of time with it, and see if we're going to make a decision here pretty quickly.
Is it down to the 2, Leal and Brewer?
Yeah, for right now. But Motley's got a tremendous, he's a tremendously important guy, because you got 2 quarterbacks. Both of them are not as big and bulky as you would want, and I think the 3rd quarterback in this situation is real important. And he was a guy all during spring, so he needs to come in here and pick up where he left off, and I'm counting on him doing that.
You talked before training camp that it would either be someone would emerge or it would have to be a gut decision. It sounds like, is this going to be a gut decision?
A little bit, yeah. Again, I thought both of them, you could go in there and list the strengths here, list the strengths here, and so we'll meet as a staff tomorrow and talk about it and then see where we go from there.
Was Motley able to play at all today?
Pardon me?
Was Motley able to do anything today, or
no.
Still out and we just can't?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea when you might get him back?
I was hoping this Monday, but I'm not sure that's going to be the deal. I'll leave that up to the medical guys.
So how quickly do you want to make that gut decision? Would it come this week?
Quick.
You mentioned McKenzie, Frank. I mean, him being obviously, I know you guys haven't decided redshirt yet, but I mean, how close are you to maybe saying Shy definitely plays this year?
Yeah, well, I want to look at the video and have our meeting with the staff, but I thought he looked impressive today. He ran through a couple, and you get tired tackling that old boy. He's run strong.
Was Marshawn able to do anything today?
How about Trey? Did he get into his first?
Yeah, Trey got back in there, and Joe, Caleb, but they all had their moment. But I thought McKenzie was the one that kind of, runs a little bit different.
do you have the same kind of timetable with running backs to pare down that group? I know you said before maybe 3 guys is kind of what you'd like.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah, they're making it tough, and that's a good thing. You know, all of them are giving great effort. All of them are improved. So you know, I don't think there's any question we'll be better than we were. But you know, again, I think I told the kids this video right here, we're going to study it a lot and make some decisions off of it and take the next step with our football team.
You mentioned trying to get the ball more to the freshman. Cam Phillips had a touchdown today. How did he look?
He looked good. Looked a couple times. I wanted him to just take the ball and go. You know, one move and go. You know, we got into double moving and triple moving there at one time, and people catch up with you when you do that. But he's I think I like what he's all about too.
How are the quarterbacks with ball protection, interceptions, mistakes like that? Or?
No, I thought they did a good job of that today. No question. Good? Thank
What's your takeaway?
You know, I tell you what, I thought our first unit played really well. We busted one coverage. They hit one play on us on a little screen, and the secondary busted the coverage. We were out our first and second team free safety, so we moved Chuck Clark in there in a pinch, and we played CJ, you know, at our nickel spot. So just kind of threw some guys in there a little bit and see how they did. But other than that, we played really well. There's a drop off when it comes to after our first group though right now. You know, obviously at some spots were better, some spots we got to get better. So but that's kind of my take initially without looking at the film. But the effort was good. You know, so you know I'm pleased with that part of it. We've been competing and working hard, and we're just gonna, you know, we've got a young group. You know, sometimes they're going to see some things for the first time, and then they can learn from that. And so far, they've been pretty good about not making the same mistake twice, if there is one. You know, so.
Seemed like there were a bunch of guys in blue over the course of the week. How healthy are you as a unit?
Yeah, I think, you know, today we held some guys out. I think Bonner could have gone, Faison could have gone. I'm trying to think who else we had on our side that.
Luther and Daddy.
Yeah, Daddy went. I'm trying to think. I think we kept Luther out, which he's an impact guy in there. But yeah, I mean, we get those guys back. I think we obviously we've helped ourselves. And that's one thing I challenge our guys. We got to be good off the field, meaning in the training room and taking care of, you know, be a professional that way. You know, and we've got a great staff from that standpoint. And excuse me, they've got to do a great. You know, they need to, our players need to do a great job of, you know, working with our training staff.
Linebacker specifically, what did you see from that position?
You know, just from my initial, it looked like I thought Chase Williams, I thought Deion Clark, and I thought Andrew Matua-Pawaka played pretty well. Domin McKinnon's been battling. We kept him out. He's been battling turf toe, you know, and he just hasn't been full speed. So I've looked at Jamion Moss. I'm anxious to see how he played when it's all said and done. They popped a couple runs on his side, so I'm curious to see what happened right there. But you know, we've got to get. I think we got to get that second backer better right now. D-Mac's been, you know, laboring for about a week and has missed a lot of time, and you know, and it's hurting him. So and it's hurting us right there a little bit too from a depth standpoint.
We've heard Matua-Pawaka a lot from you, some of the other coach. Has he sort of? I mean, has he forced his way into maybe having a role on this defense?
Yes, he has. He has, you know, and obviously right now, Chase, I think, is playing his best football that he's played here, and Andrew is coming to that level. You know, what Chase is good about right now is the communication and getting everybody lined up and a take charge guy, which you expect from a fifth-year senior. Andrew is playing fast, you know, a lot faster and more decisive than he did in the spring, you know, and I was here all summer. Obviously, we did some team stuff, you know, against each other, and you could see that development. Now he's got to be more vocal as that quarterback of the defense, so to speak, up front. But is really playing really well right now and playing fast, and I think he's got a chance to be a really special player.
So
for us.
He could only play in the middle. Could he play other?
You know, he could, but it's you know, even though they're similar positions, they're still unique. You know, it's you know, unique differences when it's all said and done. So no, that'd be hard. But I like where he is right now, And I think, he's a guy, I'd like to get to where we can play him a little bit more, and I'd like to get where we get a backer if D-Mac's the guy, which I think he can be. But that you can spell those first guys a little bit because they're athletic and have some ability. So it's not like there's a big drop off at those, between first and second at that position, which I'm encouraged by.
We've asked you about the freshman defensive lineman a bit. Are there any freshmen in the secondary you think could play this year?
I tell you what, Greg Stroman showed some signs early, kind of has leveled off a little bit. But, he's a guy that, that I think can help us. I really do, and we'll see how much, but I think he can. C.J. Rivas is a guy I've really been impressed with, and we're actually working him a little bit of our as a backup nickel now a little bit because, just a good open field player, gets a good football IQ. Ricky Walker's a guy that we're, could figure in right now. Obviously you're a play away from being the guy, and that's one of those spots that can get nicked up pretty quickly. We got Woody Barron back. He just really kind of came on this last half of the week. So I think he's going to continue to get better. But we played a lot of those guys a bunch today. So I'm anxious to see how Woody played and how Ricky played. Ricky does some really good things, and then he does some things like a freshman. But I'm really excited about him. In his future. We'll see where Mahota is in that mix. Those I think Ricky. And with a fresh group talking, Barron, talking Nigel Williams, Corey, and Luther. Who's going to be that fifth guy? Right there, because a lot of times that's what we travel with is 5 defensive tackles. So I think that's kind of the key spot between those 2 freshmen. Vinny was here in the spring, but he's done some good things. We're still excited about him. But Ricky's got a little heavier shoulder, a little more pop right now.
How's the backup ends look?
We still don't have much. I tell you, the guy I'm really pleased with right now is Seth Dooley. He has really improved tremendously. I think he's really made great strides and is going to be a heck of a football player. We moved Melvin Kine in there, and Melvin's done some really good things, but he's played defensive end for like 3 days, so he's kind of learning on the run right now. But he does some things very athletic and very natural there as opposed to linebacker. And I know we talked about that before, so I think that's a good move for us. I think we've got to get Dwayne Alford back. He was really making great strides. We're hoping we can get him back by early next week and see where he is. But that kind of was a setback for us, losing Dwayne, because him and Seth both really made great strides, which made me feel a lot better about that position. So, but I think we've helped ourselves with Melvin in there too. So
this program hasn't had a QB battle like this in a while. Does it change the dynamic of the scrimmage? Compared to maybe the past few years when Logan was kind of your
I don't know. I don't know. I don't pay a whole. To be honest with you, I know Mark. It's good competition. I like both those guys. I've been proud of how Mark's battled. He's really thrown the ball well this last week and did some things. And the Brewer kid has a lot of composure, it seems like. And we'll probably need both of them before it's all said and done. I think we're going to be able to run the ball a little bit better, it looks like, and we got a couple of those young backs, and I'm not for sure they're not our best backs, and we'll just see where that goes. But that's I've been impressed by the quarterback, so they've done a good job, and especially Mark's been here a couple of years now, the lefty, and then Michael, kind of had a crash course, but. I've been impressed by both those guys.
Is the Woody Barron red shirt off the table?
I think it's off the table right now. He's back in. He seems his foot's not been an issue, and I see him, getting better and better each week. But each day, hopefully each day. So.
Did Ronnie play today?
No, he didn't. So he was another one. I don't know who all's out.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of them, that we kind of held out, and we just want to make sure they got some nagging things, and just don't want to make it. Worsen the situation. So.
Tell us, how did you handle the quarterbacks, and what did you think of their performance?
We split the reps. We had some opportunities that we made some plays. We had some I thought that overall we took care of the ball. They had a couple good coverages called versus some of the things that we did, and again, the emphasis is protecting the football. And I thought for the most part we did that. We made good decisions. I thought Brewer did a good job of throwing the ball away and not taking sacks. He made some big plays. I think Mark did the same. And we're going to evaluate the tape and hopefully get this thing wrapped up as fast as we can. But again, the tape is the key. For me to sit here and say, well, if one played better than the other, that's completely unfair until we watch it.
Did you feel going into watching that tape that you're going to have a good sense when you're done of who your guy is, or do you think you're still a week away?
We'll find out. Just like I said, we wish we would have been able to get this thing over fast, but it's been great competition, which is good. And I think Mark has played much, much better. I mean, much better. And obviously Michael brings an element of experience. He comes from a throwing type of system and he gets it. So we'll evaluate the tape.
What is it about Mark's play that's jumped from maybe the spring to now?
Urgency to improve, urgency to be the quarterback. I think what happens whenever you sat for so long, and I think this is where I did a poor job. I pushed Logan like no other. I spent a ton of time with Logan to help Logan get better. And Mark, I spent time with Mark, but it's not the gloves on, let's go mentality. I think he fell into the backup mode, and rather than coming to the building every day last year acting like he's the starter. And that's the lesson that I'm trying to teach our young guys in that room. I don't care if you're getting redshirted. I don't care if you're the third team guy. To develop and to do the things that you want to do when your number's called, you got to act like you're the starter the day you walk in the door. And I think Mark's improved in that area, and obviously, Michael's been well schooled, and that's what he brings. He's acting like he's a starter every day.
It sounds like Motley hasn't been able to do a whole lot
He
so far.
hasn't.
Is this just too tough of a time for him to play catch up early in camp like this?
It's disappointing. We're 9. What is this? I've lost track. 10 or 11 days already into this deal, and being out so long. Mod's going to have a role, and he's so much improved too. I mean, he's went from a guy that was fighting to say, he's just really improved. I mean, that's the best way that I can explain it. And we're going to work with him and try to bring him along and get him caught up as fast as we possibly can. But being out for so long, I mean, it's just a really unfortunate situation for him. Something that's completely out of his control.
How many running backs can you conceivably get carries to in this offense? Apparently there's obviously some freshmen who have really impressed here.
Yeah.
And there's some veterans who have some experience. How do you foresee that playing out here as camp?
You want to have your top 3. You want to have a 1, 2, 3 punch, but you can never have enough running backs, and they get beat up. Whenever Virginia Tech's been good running the ball, they've had a couple dominant tailbacks. So I think we're moving in the right direction in that area.
You expect to play McKenzie at this point? Has he come far enough that?
Shai's had a really good training camp, and again, after we sit down and discuss everything, we'll let you guys have that. Absolutely. So we're just at that point where he had a great camp. We've known the guy by recruiting him, and he's coming along.
What style of running? What kind of player is he?
Well, he's fast and he's big. So that's normally, and he can cut. So.
Do you have any plays that stood out from today?
He did. He took an inside zone, ran it extremely well, and then we got down into a goal line situation, and he showed that he can get the ball in the end zone and run off the defender that wasn't blocked. So there were some really bright spots. And just like I said, he's had a good camp. He's a freshman. There's a long way to go, but you see some really, really good upside.